Question number 3. So question number 3 wants us to write the equation of a line that passes through the point -3, -8 that is parallel to this equation. All right. So first things first, whenever you're trying to do parallel or perpendicular, you always need to make sure that your equation is in the form y equal mx plus b. All right. Where you know that y is your total, m is your slope, okay, and b is your y-intercept. Okay, so right here we have an equation, but it's not given in slope-intercept form. It is given in what we call standard form. So to get into slope-intercept form, I would need to move my positive 4x to the other side by subtracting 4x on both sides. This will get canceled, and now I have negative y is equal to, can I subtract 4x from 4? No, because they're not like terms. So I'm going to rewrite the negative 4x. And then what type of 4 is this? It's a positive 4. So I'll write plus 4. Okay? In front of my y is a negative 1. So now I would divide by negative 1 and divide each of these by negative 1. Now I have y is equal to a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 4 divided by 1 is 4. So positive 4x. And normally we divide this and get negative 4, but again, if you remember, we don't care what this number is, so we're going to replace it with the letter b. Okay? So now we're going to apply what parallel means. All right? Well, parallel are two lines that are going in the same direction, but they never meet. Okay? Whenever it's going in the same direction, it means you have the same slope, because slope tells you direction. Okay? So that means I need to keep my slope the same. So all I'm going to do is leave my slope alone. So I'm just going to write my equation again. Okay? I'm going to leave my slope alone. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is plug in the points that I was given for x and y. So negative 3 is my x. Negative 8 is my y. Replace my y with negative 8. Replace my x with negative 3. All right, and then the plus b, I bring it down. So the negative 8, I'm going to bring it down because there's nothing to multiply it by. Here, I see a parenthesis, so that means I multiply 4 by negative 3. I get negative 12, okay? And then now I'm going to isolate the b by getting rid of a subtracting by 12 by adding by 12, okay? That gets canceled, and your b is equal to negative 8 plus 12 is positive 4. So the value of b right here will become positive 4. So my answer and my equation for the parallel is y equal 4x and then plus 4. So again, guys, just like that. Okay? So let's try the next one. So this one says, write the equation of the line that passes through the point 2 and negative 3 that is perpendicular to this equation. All right. So again, first things first, you need to make sure it's in the form y equal mx plus b. So we have x plus 2y is equal to 4. This is in standard form. So again, what you're seeing right here is called standard form. Okay. And we need to try to get it into slope-intercept form. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is move our adding x or positive x to the other side by subtracting x. That gets canceled. And then the 2y, I bring it down, just like what I did right over here. Okay? We cannot subtract x from 4 because they're not like terms. So I'm going to write my minus x and then my plus 4, just like what I did for the previous question. Now I'm going to divide because I need to get rid of that multiply. So I divide each of these by 2. And we know that technically in front of this x is a negative 1. All right? So now we would have y is equal to, can I divide negative 1 by 2? No. So I'm going to leave it as negative 1 over 2. Because again, when you divide a negative by a positive, it stays as a negative. And then I'm going to replace this number with the letter b. Okay? So now I'm going to apply perpendicular. All right? Perpendicular means the opposite of parallel. So perpendicular means that you're going to have two lines that will possibly at some point intersect. All right. So at some point they will be going in the same direction. All right. Or their slope is the negative reciprocal of each other. All right. Which just means that you change the sign. So again, you change sign and then flip the number. All right. Make sure you write that down. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is that I'm going to look at my slope because that's the only thing I know, all right? And I'm going to change the sign. So it's going to go from a negative to a positive, and then it's going to go from 1 over 2 to 2 over 1. I flip the fraction, all right? And that would be my perpendicular slope, okay? So now I'm going to plug in my points for x and y. All right, so instead of y, I'm going to replace it with -3, okay? And instead of x, I'm going to replace it with 2, okay? Because this 2 is a fraction, I'm going to also write this as a fraction by writing the denominator as a 1, okay? And then plus b. So now we're going to go ahead and multiply. So 2 times 2 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1. And we know that 4 divided by 1 is 4, okay? So the final step is to get b all by itself. So we need to subtract 4. So your b is equal to a bigger negative, -7. So this -7 replaces the b right here. So my answer would be y equal 2x. You can write it as 2 over 1x. But again, we know that 2 divided by 1 is still just 2. And instead of plus b, I would write -7. All right. So again, guys, that is my result.